What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and it looks like the deal with Twitter and Elon may be evaporating. I've talked about this in the past. You know, a lot of people originally, it was hard to take Elon seriously. I mean, he had, his offer of 54.20, obviously. The fact that, purchasing Twitter doesn't really fit into his business model, doesn't really, you know, jive with him necessarily, but also he does have a passion for freedom of speech. He is very anti-censorious, and so the thought of spending billions of dollars to just fight against that made me convince myself that maybe it wasn't a meme and he was actually very serious about purchasing it. But since the offer was accepted by Twitter, essentially, if he was bluffing, calling his bluff, things have kind of taken a chilly approach, or a chilly turn. Now, today or over the weekend, it looks like Elon. I don't know if he initially, it's tough for us to like really know what he's thinking, but many people thought his conversation around the bots on Twitter, for example, was a negotiation tactic. And it very well may still be. Twitter has not come forth with information on how they calculate the bot percentages on their platform. I think because they know either A, he's trying to get out of the deal, or B, that it will expose them. That if they tell him before, the purchase goes through, how they calculated bot percentages, it could potentially open them up to massive lawsuits from investors. If it becomes public that, they were knowingly underestimating the number of bot or fake accounts on the platform, they could get sued into oblivion. I don't even know how bad, what the reaction would be, but it could be a total financial collapse if it came out that, let's say, the real number of bots is 30-40%. And they've been taking, first of all, advertiser dollars. So anyone who's ever bought ads with Twitter, then obviously the stockholders, these people would be extraordinarily pissed off. And, again, if you're advertising, you're thinking, well, I'm paying per impression, right? A lot of times, excuse me, you could pay per click or you can pay per impression. These are the two main ways you buy ads. If I'm paying for 100,000 impressions, you're charging me 100,000 impressions, and I found out that 40% of them were fake, I want, 40% refund on the money. Meaning, like, anyone who's ever advertised on the platform, you would think would have some sort of recourse to say, like, yo, we paid you. And there are people that have spent millions advertising on the platform, tens of millions advertising on the platform. So, if it turns out that 40% of that spend was fraudulent, it feels like they would have a case. So there's potentially a bigger powder keg than I think most people think. When you look at the stock today, not a lot of reaction. It's actually been climbing back a good bit throughout the day, nearing $40. It's still $14 per share cheaper than what Elon Musk offered to pay. Now, this was an article published this morning that Twitter Inc. has reiterated that it will hold Elon Musk accountable to the terms of his proposed $44 billion takeover offer after the billionaire again threatened to pull out of the deal over the issue of bots. In the SEC filing on Monday, Musk said he believes Twitter is breaching their agreement by not meeting his demands for more information about spam and fake accounts. Last month, Musk said he would not proceed with his offer unless the social media giant can prove bots make up fewer than 5% of its users, as the company has stated in its public filings. Musk has estimated that fake accounts make up at least 20% of all users. Now, what this could be is a nomenclature thing, a definition thing, where we have a definition that maybe we would all define as a bot or a spam account, the name, bunch of numbers meme, but Twitter probably has a much looser definition. It's not in Twitter's best interest to chop off these active user numbers. It hurts both their investors and their advertisers. And again, you get like that third whammy where their investors are their advertisers. Their advertisers are their investors. Now, Twitter shares slumped 2.6% on Monday, reinforcing doubts that Musk would finalize his $54.20 per share offer and further widening the gap between the market's expectations and the billionaire's price. The shares have barely and only briefly surpassed $50 since Musk sprung his buyout plan on April 14th. The deal came together at a breakneck speed, in part because Musk waived the chance to look at Twitter's finances beyond what was publicly available. So a lot of people are pointing at this and saying, well, Elon waived his rights, so dig into it. However, if the numbers that they are publicly available are false, well, now you've got an issue. Now maybe you have some grounds. Twitter Chief Executive Officer Parag Agrawal has sparred with Musk publicly on Twitter about bots. Agrawal has said that the company has human reviewers look at thousands of accounts to determine the prevalence of bots, but added that he couldn't share any more specifics because of privacy concerns. Unfortunately, we don't believe that this specific estimation can be performed externally, given the critical need to use both public and private information. Well, that's an awfully convenient excuse, I might say. In the filing on Monday, Musk sharply disagreed with Twitter's assessment on bots. Quote, Twitter's latest offer to simply provide additional details regarding the company's own testing methodologies, whether through written materials or verbal explanations, is tantamount to refusing Mr. Musk's data requests, according to the filing, which was addressed to Twitter's legal counsel, Vijaya Gadde. Twitter's effort to characterize it otherwise is merely an attempt to obfuscate and confuse the issue. Mr. Musk has made it clear that he does not believe the company's lax testing methodologies are adequate, so he must conduct his own analysis. The data he has requested is necessary to do so. Musk believes the company's resistance to provide information is a clear material breach. Yeah, I mean, I would assume clear material breach of Twitter's obligations under the merger agreement, and Mr. Musk reserves all rights resulting therefrom, including his right to not consummate the transaction and his right to terminate the merger agreement. The proposed takeover includes a $1 billion breakup fee for each party, but Musk can't just walk away by paying the charge. The merger agreement includes a specific performance provision that allows Twitter to force Musk to consummate the deal, according to the original filing. That could mean that should the deal end up in court, Twitter might secure an order obligating Musk to not only complete the merger rather than winning monetary compensation for violation of it. So they could end up, going to court and forcing the deal. Quote, we believe the announcement could lead to negotiations on price to avoid a big fight in court. Mandeep Singh, a Bloomberg intelligence analyst, wrote in a note. Singh said that Musk's tactic is likely a push to negotiate a better deal value for Twitter and one to get closer to rival Snap Inc.'s market cap. At a $44 billion deal value, Twitter's enterprise per daily active user of $200 is much higher than Snap's $65 to $70, he said. Musk's lawyer, Mike Ringler of Skadden Arps Slate, I don't really care, said that Twitter must cooperate by providing the data requested so that Musk can secure the debt financing necessary to finish the deal. Well, this is all getting very complicated, and if you notice, Elon really hasn't been talking a lot publicly about Twitter lately. Now, maybe as I say that, maybe he's tweeting about it right now, but ultimately, why he hasn't said anything about Twitter in days. You see tweets about chess and other worldly issues. It's been a while since he tweeted anything about Twitter data and stuff like that. And this goes back to June 4th. He's still talking about full self-driving beta, which as Tesla owners we're never going to get. Probably it'll never be as good as we thought it was. But I mean, you have just so many memes and this and that. He's not talking about it, and there's probably a reason for that. Also, in case you don't remember, and this is what I told everybody, and not to pat myself on the back, but don't abandon those. There's a reason. Like, look on my top banner, mine's Rumble, Odyssey, Gilded, BitChute. These people don't pay me. There's a reason I'm on them. I'm on Gab. I'm on Getter. I'm on Truth Social. I can't abandon those, and we shouldn't abandon them. Remember when everything was all awesome and non or, and wrong thinkers were suddenly gaining tens of thousands of followers, and everyone thought, well, Twitter must have turned something off, turned off some sort of suppression. Well, maybe they did, but they certainly turned it back on. Those days are long gone. Yeah, he hasn't tweeted about Twitter, at least in June at all. It's probably not, it's probably not, I don't know. I think the deal is falling apart. I think there's more to it than we know. I think that Elon's offer was probably in earnest, was an honest offer, but maybe he's suffering a little buyer's remorse. And we can't discount the major hit that his other companies have taken since his desire to purchase Twitter. Whether it's Tesla, for example, as a great example, going from $1,000 a share, it's significantly dropped. He's talking last week about laying off 10% of the staff at Tesla, talking about his view on the economy. All of these things are likely factoring in to why the deal may be falling apart. And to be honest, like I'm much less optimistic now than I was a week or two ago that this deal is going to go through. I'll be interested to hear what your comments are in the comment section down below, though, and we'll talk to you again real soon.